Tonight's webinar is sponsored by the Luxottica Group. Luxottica is a leader in the design, manufacture, and distribution of fashion, luxury, and sports eyewear, with a portfolio that includes such proprietary brands as Ray-Ban and Oakley, as well as such licensed brands as Giorgio Armani, Burberry, Bulgari, Chanel, and many others. Luxottica's global wholesale distribution network covers more than 150 countries and is complemented by an extensive retail network with LensCrafter and Pearle Vision in North America. I would encourage you to visit the Luxottica Group website to learn more about tonight's sponsor. And now, a bit about your speaker. Tonight we welcome Alessandro Beranti. With almost 30 years of international optical experience, Alessandro began his Luxottica career in the sales side and eventually moving into marketing. Today, Alessandro is the face of Luxottica in North America, serving as the Vice President of Industry Relations and Education. As an ABOC certified speaker, Alessandro provides continuing education to thousands of eye care professionals every year. Please welcome Alessandro Beranti.
Thank you. Thank you very much, both Beth and Kim. Thank you for allowing me to be presenting to this incredible audience of, I can see on the screen, we have hundreds of optometrists on the line, and I'm honored about the opportunity. Tonight's topic is going to be addressing the importance of premium sun and also techniques on how to correctly position this very important category. So I'm going to go to the first slide of the actual presentation, and just to discuss with all of you the objective of the training. The first objective is understand the harmful effect of UV rays and the effect that it has on the eyes and consequently on the vision. And then parallel to that, we're going to discuss the opportunity on how to recognize the sales opportunity, and in a process of educating the patient that evolve and become a patient consumers in the same environment. I don't like to use the word sales, and I like to use the word education. And I believe in that. I believe that it is a professional responsibility that we have in our industry as being part of a healthcare network, not to assume, not to prejudge, but to educate. Educate and then pause and wait for the response of the patient and the patient consumers, and that taken from there. I'm going to play a video just to kind of introduce the topic and understand altogether the relevance of premium sun. Please indulge me.
Luxottica has become a world leader in the manufacture and sale of high-quality eyewear and sunwear. Luxottica aims to satisfy its customers by continually striving to improve quality in every phase of the production cycle, thus ensuring the safety and durability of its eyewear. Luxottica has established a vast range of protocols for quality tests on lenses, materials, frames, and individual components. These tests ensure that all purchasers of Luxottica eyewear will enjoy benefits such as improved wearability, durable finishes, and greater overall resistance. While Luxottica guarantees product compliance with the highest international standards, in order to provide its customers with only the best products, Luxottica also carries out proprietary tests that are even stricter than international directives. In the industrialization phase, each new model undergoes rigorous testing to ensure perfect design and flawless functionality. Over 100 tests are carried out in the Quality Performance Lab and are divided into 3 areas: chemical and optical. In the first case, the mechanical functionality and durability of each frame is tested. An example of just one of these tests is the new endurance test, during which frames are subjected to simultaneous rotation cycles on both temples. In the chemical laboratory, environmental conditions that could affect a frame are simulated in an accelerated manner. These factors include the impact of UV light, humidity, corrosive substances, and human perspiration on a frame. Finally, the optical laboratory ensures the production quality of all frames made to accommodate ophthalmic lenses. During the lens fitting test, expert opticians test each optical frame with a range of the most frequently used corrective lenses in order to ensure that opticians can easily mount any consumer's prescription lenses. In addition to these tests, each frame is subject to quality checks at regular intervals during the mass production phase. This continual focus on quality guarantees that Luxottica is always able to offer its customers products that are perfectly finished, flawlessly functional, and 100% safe. Product quality is a critical factor for both opticians and end consumers in the premium and luxury segments. Luxottica's main focus has always been to guarantee this quality through rigorous testing.
Okay, that's a good way to start to introduce this very important topic, and what an amazing opportunity for all of us on the line to really understand clearly on how to position this category and how to leverage on this opportunity. Folks, we're still in the forefront of this opportunity, and for the most part, our category of business, independent optometrists, do not sell sunglasses effectively in the marketplace. And I'm going to share with you important statistics to help you understand the opportunity ahead of us, both to improve your bottom line profitability, but most important, to address the health of the eyes of your patients. So, sunglasses. We go back quite a few hundreds and hundreds of years ago if we think about sunglasses, and actually Leonardo da Vinci is being given the credit to invent lenses and consequently eyewear. But talking about sunglasses, we go way, way before Leonardo da Vinci over here. And you can see over here some specific device used by the Eskimo on how to really protect themselves from the light, from the intense lighting. And kind of clever type of invention. And it's kind of interesting to see where we started and where we are today, especially with the combination of the fashion sense into sun. So why do we need to protect our eyes? This is the very first important question that I want to pose to all of you. And of course, I'm addressing myself to doctor, which I'm not a doctor. And so I'm going to respect the fact that obviously you know much more than me about the medical aspect of the understanding of the need to protect our eyes against the UV rays. But the conditions are pretty stunning over here. Blindness, and you can see that over 3.2 million people go blind due to prolonged UV exposure every single year around the world. So this is pretty amazing. I don't know if anybody on the audience has done international mission trip, but it is pretty amazing to see what we see in a mission trip. But it's also pretty amazing to see what we actually can find in homeland, and when we actually start to reach out to really be able to see this type of condition. Cataract is another important factor that we need to be careful on. Skin cancer, and over 90% of the skin cancer occurs on the head and neck area, and reason why, because of course is the area that is exposed the most to UV, and then of course the long-term damage of the exposure to UV that definitely cannot be repaired. So these are really the four main medical conditions that we really need to really take the time to educate your patient on the importance of that. Let's not assume that patients are aware of this, because they're not. And it is very important to take the time to really invest in educating every single patient about these factors. Now, I'm going to ask you for a question over here, and we're going to do kind of a quick test, and I'm going to ask you for yourself to answer, and then we're going to see if you actually guess the right answer. So, during what hours of the day the exposure to UV radiation has the most intensity? So, from 8 to 10, from 11 to 1, from 10 to 2, or from 2 to 4. So what do you think? So let's take a few seconds as a pause, and let's learn what. And here we are. Actually, there are 2 segments of the day, from 8 to 10 and from 2 to 4. This is, interestingly enough, one of the importance of asking lifestyles question to all of your patients is to really be able to understand the habits that your patient assume every single day. 8 to 10, it's usually commute time, and 2 to 4, it's usually outdoor time, especially for younger patients, especially if we're looking at preteen or teen young adults. So very important to understand these factors. Now, the sun radiation is problematic, and it's pretty hard to understand, and definitely has a cancer potential. And ultraviolet radiation, it's even less understood by the consumers. And high energy visible radiation, the blue light, which there has been a lot of focus, especially in the last year in health, is gaining awareness, but definitely a lot of work to do ahead of us. So if you want to prioritize in these 3 categories, you can see 1, 2, 3, how much work we have ahead of us to really be able to educate the patient consumers base. Now, as we look at this chart also, we can see over here cataract, diabetic, AMD, and glaucoma will increase by looking at this chart due to UV exposure. And over here we have 45 million, and it says Americans over 40 and over will become blind or visually impaired. And if we look at the Canadian market, 0.5 million Canadians suffer from visual loss. And so pretty interesting statistic not to underestimate when it comes to UV protection. This picture is 1,000 words. This is a truck driver that for all of his life, he was covering a route between the east to the west coast in the United States. And you can clearly see the damage of the UV exposure. And interestingly enough, you can see that the left side that is facing the side window of the truck, and you can actually see the extent damage to the skin. And imagine if you can see the damage to the skin. I cannot even imagine the damage to the eyes, and pretty incredible type of visual. And so these are all of the different medical terms, which I'm not going to adventure because with my Italian background, I can barely even pronounce this kind of diseases. But you know who they are because you are a doctor, and as I said before, I'm not. Now, HEV light, and there has been a lot of conversation about the HEV light, and this is becoming a big deal. Again, very important to really probe patient consumers on the lifestyles questionnaire, because especially today, consumers are spending hours and hours, looking at their phone, iPad, computer device, and this is very important to collect this information so we can prevent this type of damage to the retina. Now, some UV can also be good, and as a way to generate vitamin D, and so it's good to have UV exposure, but like everything else in moderation. And now this is also another factor that we cannot underestimate, and I guess is one of the great benefits about modern technology. And due to the benefit of modern technology and modern medicine, obviously we are living longer, all of us. And now the question is, we need to not only live longer, but we also need to live in good condition. And now this aging is also challenging our bodies, our organs to be in shape. And obviously our eyes are our most precious sense. It goes along with what I said before. Focus on education is really the key to be able to have a good, healthy, long life. And now this is actually, you can see the before and after vision through our eyes with a cataract condition. And obviously I don't need to show you this, but again, it's a good visual effect. I notice in a process of communication and education, it's very important to back up words with visual, especially when it comes to medical terminology, because patients are not necessarily familiar with the terminology that you're using. So do not make those assumptions that they're actually following everything that you're saying. I think it's important to really bring the topic down to their level, to the person that you have in front of you, and really help them understand the condition. The support of visual aids, I found that to be very, very useful in this process. So another question. Okay, Alessandro, makes sense. I mean, you know, I understand the importance of protecting my eyes against UV rays, but gosh, there is no sun out there, especially in Canada. You know, it's been raining a lot, and so I don't know about this sun protection. What are you talking about? Well, actually, overcast skies still allows 31% of the solar radiation to filter through. Actually, these are the most dangerous time of the day and the most dangerous condition, because what do? We underestimate. We underestimate the power of UV rays. Obviously, we cannot see these conditions, so we think that is fine. And all of a sudden, boom, here you have it, 31%. And so very important also to educate the patient on this factor, not to be underestimated. Okay, I understand, Alessandro. I mean, you know, now you really made me sick about this premium sun situation, but I don't know if I can afford these sunglasses. You know, I'm on a budget, and you know, I already purchased a pair of a prescription eyewear, and I don't know about that. And so we need to overcome this objection, right? And I'm trying to make this 1 hour together a little bit of fun. So I hope you don't mind this. But what percentage of UV radiation is transmitted to the crystalline lenses of children 10 years old or younger? So doctors on the line, let's see if we actually, of course, know this factor. A is 75, B is 60, C is 35, and D is 10. I'm going to give you a few seconds, and the answer is 75%. Now, 82% of the parents require sunscreen. It's interesting because I don't know if you have any kids. If you're on the line, you can certainly relate to this type of story that I'm going to tell you. But you know, raising two kids that today are 22 and 19 years old. I remember going to all of the practice of all of the games and all of the games outdoor, and it was stunning to me to see the parents wearing sunglasses and the kids running around, both you know, in the field and on the side of the field. We know sun protection when it comes to the eyes. And it was also stunning for me to see the parents being so mindful to put lotion on their kids to prevent skin burning, but still not understanding that the eyes burn as much as our skin, and not really to be able to understand that factor. So still today, if I go to a game, I see that almost 10, 15 years later. So there is a lot of work to do in terms of educating parents about the importance about sun protection. Only 17% of the parents ensure their child is wearing sunglasses when he or she is wearing sunscreen. Is this amazing? Do you find this information amazing? I find this information almost scary. And what a wake-up call for all of us. Kids receive 3 times more the exposure to the annual sun than adults, and it's over 80% of the lifetime exposure to UV rays happens between the age of until the age of a preteen. So it's very important to really promote this factor. And you know, the same way that the parents are so mindful about oral hygiene, about the kids, and about you know, the alignment of the teeth and the brushing at night, the brushing in the morning, make sure that we do that. We really need to take the time to teach a behavior to the parents, to really teach to the kids the importance of sun protection and wearing sunglasses. And at the end of the day, it is the sunscreen for your eyes. And over here you can see this cute picture of this little boy kind of fighting against the sun without the sunglasses. And another example over here, and on how sunglasses can be used during a sports activity. And so I'm going to ask you, to all of you on the line, to really make a commitment in the medical chair, to really make a commitment to education. And it is very powerful what you do and what you say in the medical lane. When I go to the doctor and the doctor gives me, let's say, 3 different prescriptions because I have a sickness that needs to be cured, and with those 3 different prescriptions I go to the pharmacy, I do not hesitate to fill all 3 different prescriptions. I will not even think about skipping one because I cannot afford to get those medications, because I understand the importance of those medications to really cure the medical condition that I have. Nothing different when it comes to our eyes. And so the question that I have for you is that how many prescriptions do you write to your patient? And we need to prescribe more. That's really the message. We need to prescribe more, because when you do that, now you empower your staff to really fill your prescription. And especially if you end off the patient in a proper way in the optical dispensary, your staff is not going to be viewed or perceived as trying to sell to the patient, but they're going to be viewed and perceived as filling your prescription, and most important, following your direction. So I'm going to walk you through 5 different touch points to really emphasize the importance of quality sunglasses. The first point we're going to cover is related to UV protection. We're going to go into the external factors. We're going to go into prevent premature aging. We're going to talk about comfort, visibility, and then we're going to go into the different type of sunglasses for different type of condition. So the first point, and now UV radiation cannot be seen or felt, right? So it's kind of a tricky type of situation. And most people recognize the connection between sun exposure and skin cancer. Fewer than 1 in 3 Americans realize the dangers of UV exposure to the eyes, and only 24% know that UV exposure can cause cataract. So these are information that you as a doctor really need to deliver to your patient. And going into the second factor, sensitivity of the eyes. The sunglasses create a barrier. This is very important. That can really protect our eyes for external condition. It can be debris, it can be wind, it can be everything that is related to really harming our eyes. And the third factor is premature aging, and now we can actually talk about a little bit of a cosmetic pitch. And yes, a cosmetic pitch. You know, look at what dermatologists are doing today. Dermatologists are really developing a retail category in their business environment by creating the need, and they actually sell skincare products that address those conditions. So why don't we do the same as optometrists to really create that need that then can actually be translated into a want? And why not really delivering a cosmetic pitch? And over here you can actually see pictures that you know, that is really describing a thousand words, right? A UV photograph can actually show the damage of the UV damages on the skin of this young lady. A picture is 1,000 words over here, and then also the fact that you know, be able to prevent premature aging around the eyes is caused by the UV damage. It's almost 90% over here. Now let's go into the fourth factor, the comfort and the visibility. And we're talking about direct glare and reflect glare over here. Direct glare, it can be from sun, a projector, and a flash. And so again, Lifestyles questionnaire can help you to identify how to prevent that. And then we go into reflection of glare, sand, water, and the snow. So you have three different conditions over here, very easily related to Lifestyles type of questionnaire. And glare does, what glare does, reduce visibility, and can put somebody in dangers in some situation, but for the most part it creates a discomfort, and it can also result in pain. This is an example over here of a very hard driving condition, and you can clearly see the dangers that this type of situation can actually create. And let's go into the last touch point now, and different type of lenses, different type of glasses for different type of condition. And over here, this is a chart that I would suggest you to reference to. It kind of gives you an understanding of all of the different type of lenses, tinted lenses, mirror, air coating, polarization lenses, photochromatic lenses. It kind of gives you a description of the different benefit, which is important to always reinforce, and then kind of associate that with a specific condition. So once again, if you're effective in using Lifestyles questionnaire, you take the information from the discovery, and then you start to apply this information by making the right suggestion to your patient to be able to address the specific condition. Over here, talking about polarization lenses and underlining the benefit about the polarization lenses, I like to use a visual demonstration with the patient about polarized lenses. And today you can download apps or seek to your suppliers of lenses to be able to provide you digital tools to be able to tell effective storytelling about the importance of the use of polarized lenses for important situation. Benefit, the glare reduction, reduce eye strains, gives a better contrast of the color, enhance the clarity, the color perception, reduce light sensitivity, and of course UV ray protection. So this is a great, you know, if you look at all of the benefit, it's a great way to present an amazing technology. I hired a Ray-Ban sales consultant in Michigan a few years ago, and she came to me from the Garmin industry, and no optical experience whatsoever, a scuba diver, and very active with her lifestyles. And day 2, I'm actually doing onboarding training with her, and I'm discussing with her the different lens technology. And I'm actually at the point where I'm teaching her about polarization lenses. She got visibly upset. I look at her and I said, Sheila, what's wrong? Have I said something wrong? And she said, no, Alessandro, you know, it's amazing, she said to me. You know, I'm an outdoor person, and I'm a scuba diver. I'm always around the water. I've been wearing glasses all of my life. And then she said something that it was very telling to me. She said, my optometrist never told me about polarization lenses. I wish they did, and I wish I was educated about polarization lenses, because if I was educated about polarization lenses, I was not going to hesitate not to buy a pair of prescription sunglasses with the polarization lenses. The moral of the story is that when you educate and you create a behavior, it is forever. It is not just for that time. when one of your patients is actually deciding for the first time to buy a pair of prescription sunglasses or a pair of plano sunglasses because they understand the reason why it's important for them to wear those prescription or plano sunglasses, you have that patient for life, meaning that every single time that they're going to come and see you every 2 years, every year, whatever the frequency is, you're going to be able to upgrade them on a pair of plano or a prescription pair of sunglasses. So what an amazing way, not only to grow your practice, but what an amazing way to deliver better medical care to your patients. Now, this chart helps you to understand the percentage of light absorbed through the lenses. There are 4 different indexes of light absorption, and over here it gives you the percentages. So index 0 is between 0 to 20%, 1, 20 to 37, all the way to level 4, which is 92 to 97%. Over here you can see the color shade, the different lens color, and attached to that you can actually see the recommended use of the different lenses, and attached to that you can actually see the environmental condition for you to actually combine that specific suggestion of lenses. Now, as a doctor, you don't need to go to the extent of having this type of conversation with your patient, obviously, because your job is to really stay focused on creating the need and explaining the why. But for your opticians, this information is critical for them to really be able then to fill your prescription with the right product to be able to address the specific need that you created. So I would strongly suggest the staff to be very well aware about the information that I'm sharing in the different chart throughout the presentation. Now, something that that is also important to understand is the solar protection index is actually indicated on the frame. Every single Luxottica frame gives you that specific information. And so over here you can see the 2N, so indicates the darkness of the lenses, and also indicates the lenses treatment. So if there is a P, it means a polarized lenses. If there is an N, is a tinted mirror, and if there is an F, is a photopolar. So in this specific case, you're looking at N, tinted mirror. You're looking at an index number 2, which I'm going to go back to the previous slide. So index number 2, it is absorbed between 37 to 82% of the light. It's a medium strong shade, universal filter use, and it is suggested for extreme light conditions. So that, I hope that this kind of helps you to associate all of that in the conversation to really be able to help your opticians to leverage on the benefit. Now, there is really a difference between premium sun and generic sun, and are generic sun as good as premium sunglasses? Well, this is another huge misconception, and it is an area where there is a lot of work for all of us to do to really be able to explain to the consumers that yes, there is a huge difference between premium and generic, and like everything else, you get what you pay for it. And so high quality sunglasses, I think it's important to really understand the main benefit about high quality sunglasses. And so over here you can actually see a sticker on the lenses, UV 400, claims to watch out for UV absorption, UV protection, and block most of the UV light. You can actually find these type of stickers in most of the sunglasses in the market. The big question is, how is this coating apply on the lenses? And the way that is the coating apply on the lenses can actually last throughout the condition of usage of the frame, cleaning of the frame, a different type of chemical use for cleaning the frame. I can state that most of the sunglasses that are labeled as cheap sunglasses or low quality sunglasses also have a cheap lens treatment that they do not last as much as they should. The premium sunglasses will give you the guarantee of 100 UV protection, and also will give you the guarantee of the lost lasting effect of all of the different filters apply on the lenses. 47% of the sunglasses wearers do not check UV rating before making a purchase. This is another fact, so it's very important to be able to educate them on this factor. Visual acuity, the other thing that is important to understand, all of the Luxottica product have center lenses in the sunglasses, and I will say this for most of the quality premium product out there. You will say why it is important to have a center sunglasses on a plano lens. It is very important because in terms of distortion and clarity, and to give a perfect vision to the patient through a lens, is very important to center the lenses, even if there is no prescription in the lenses. Over time, use of lenses that are not center, or they have a distortion, or they have stress points because the lenses have been cut too small in a frame, that creates stressing point in the peripheral vision of the vision area, can actually lead to headache, fatigue, and yes, even nausea if the distortion is extreme. If you have a projector in your medical lane, I would suggest you to actually put a lens under a projector, and you can actually see the distortion of a cheap sunglasses versus a quality sunglasses through the projector in your medical lane. Now, a quality assurance is also the international standard that the CE, to be able to frame, to be able to receive this stamp, they have to pass 10 safety tests that are required by the law. And it's amazing that cheap, fake sunglasses, especially counterfeit product, obviously have, in many cases, this CE symbol, but is actually incorrect. You can actually see the picture, and it's a little different. You can see the correct version of the CE, and you can actually see the counterfeit version of the CE. If you look at the distance between the C and the E of the correct one, and look at the one below, that helps you to understand that is incorrect and actually counterfeit. And you know, it's so you look at these 10 different tests that are required by the law, and do you have any idea how many tests actually Luxottica requires our product to go through to be able to not only receive this stamp of approval, but to receive the Luxottica stamp of approval? It's over 100 tests, and to be able to do that, and our frame, they have to meet a specific requirement before they actually are released from our factory. And I'm going to show you a quick video shortly about our process on how we actually make our material, to help you to understand the quality between a lower price point sunglasses, a cheap sunglasses, and a premium sun. Frame quality, another point of difference is the fit, the comfort of the product, the durability of the product, and the long-lasting adjustment, the coloration, and the fact that the product is allergy resistant. All of the Mazzucchelli acetate that we use in the production of our product is actually cotton fiber derived, so they provide that non-allergy type of material benefit, and resistant to tarnish, corrosion, peeling, and chipping. These are also some of the important factors. Why is this so important, especially when it comes to prescription sun? Because we definitely want to position a prescription lens in a frame that can actually hold the quality of the lens, certainly not in a cheap pair of sunglasses. Let's watch this video together.
Luxottica has become a world leader in the manufacture and sale of high-quality eyewear and sunwear. Luxottica aims to satisfy its customers by continually striving to improve quality in every phase of the production cycle, thus ensuring the safety and durability of its item. Luxottica has established a vast range of protocols for quality tests on lenses, materials, frames, and individual components. These tests ensure that all purchasers of Luxottica eyewear will enjoy benefits such as improved wearability, durable finishes, and greater overall resistance. While Luxottica guarantees product compliance with the highest international standards, in order to provide its customers with only the best products, Luxottica also carries out proprietary tests that are even stricter than international directives. In the industrialization phase, each new model undergoes rigorous testing to ensure perfect design and flawless functionality. Over 100 tests are carried out in the Quality Performance Lab and are divided into 3 areas: chemical and optical. In the first case, the mechanical functionality and durability of each frame is tested. An example of just one of these tests is the new endurance test, during which frames are subjected to simultaneous rotation cycles on both temples. In the chemical laboratory, environmental conditions that could affect a frame are simulated in an accelerated manner. These factors include the impact of UV light, humidity, corrosive substances, and human perspiration on the frame. Finally, the optical laboratory ensures the production quality of all frames made to accommodate ophthalmic lenses. During the lens fitting test, expert opticians test each optical frame with a range of the most frequently used corrective lenses in order to ensure that opticians can easily mount any consumer's prescription lenses. In addition to these tests, each frame is subject to quality checks at regular intervals during the mass production phase. This continual focus on quality guarantees that Luxottica is always able to offer its customers products that are perfectly finished, flawlessly functional, and 100% safe. Product quality is a critical factor for both opticians and end consumers in the premium and luxury segments. Luxottica's main focus has always been to guarantee this quality through rigorous testing.
And to be fair to my competition, there are many premium sunglasses in the market. I don't want to diminish the benefit of other brands, and the importance is to stay focused on premium product, to leverage on that, to be able to educate consumers on the difference between premium product and the cheap sunglasses that they may be able to buy at the gas station or online for $29. And we definitely want to, educate them not to do that because of all of the information that we are learning throughout this webinar. So brands build trust, and at the end of the day, that trust builds a loyalty, and it is amazing that the power of that logo combined with the professional service that you're providing to them, that can actually create that repeat business leveraging on trust. So let's go through this quick learning test today. So check your knowledge, true or false. UV damage over a period of time can be repaired. What do you think? Can that be repaired, true or false? And the answer is false. Solar index 4 is for intense solar radiation. Remember the different level? Solar index 4 is for intense solar radiation. True or false? It's true. All sunglasses block 100% of the UV rays. Wow, what is that statement? True or false? Of course it's false. 90% of skin cancer occurs in the vicinity of the head and the neck area. 90%. I don't know if you remember from the beginning of the presentation. True, false? It is true. Fewer than 1 in 3 Americans realize the dangers of UV exposure to their eyes. And true or false? True. Kids receive twice as much the annual sun exposure of adults. Is this true or false? It is false, because it is actually 3 times, and it's even worse than that. So very important when those parents come in with the kids to really take the time to educate the parents about the importance of sun protection for the kids. So what is the opportunity for all of us? The opportunity is to really grow the premium sun in the optical channel. This is pretty obvious, and I hope it makes sense at this point. So to do that, we need to take this conversation very seriously. And I want to share some numbers over here, but I want to focus on a couple of things. I want you to look at line number 3, drugstores, grocery stores, and others. And I want you to look at the percentage of market share, 52% in units and 8.7% in dollars, with the average price point of $15. Folks, let me share that 80% of your contact lenses patients, these are your patient, 24 hours after they receive a medical examination from you and the fitting, they go buy a pair of cheap sunglasses in the department stores, grocery stores, and others as an average price point of $15. It is 52% of the sunglasses unit sold as a market share in the North American market today, US and Canada combined together. This is a problem. What this means is that consumers today do not understand the difference between quality sunglasses and cheap sunglasses. As you can see, in the optical channel, we have 2.5% of the market share in units, 9.8% in dollars, and when we sell premium sunglasses, we do a good job because we sell at a $149 price point. The problem, we don't sell enough. We need to do a better job with that. We need to change the mindset of the consumers and the industry, and to really be able to make you, as an independent eye care professional, a destination for premium sun. And this is a strong statement that I'm going to make because, as you know, we own as Luxottica many retail operations around the world, and we also own a sunglasses chain. And the reason why this sunglasses chain prosper, because we don't do enough of a good job in the independent channel of trade to really position premium sun. There is no reason for one of your patients that evolves into a patient consumers to go buy a pair of sunglasses in a retail sunglasses stores. They should buy them from you. And to do that, we really need to create an environment where we position those type of premium sun in a way that they prosper, in a way that they resonate. And so we appeal both to the needs and the want of the needs of your patients, the wants of your patients' consumers. 85% of the patient, they're telling us this, want you as an eye care professional to educate them about all of the eyewear and the lenses option available regardless of the price. This is what your patients are telling us. And it's also important in the process of doing that to really work as a team. So what I would suggest you in your weekly meeting with your staff to really build an environment where we create a focus on this topic, and we start from the reception that is actually picking up the phone to actually schedule the appointment with those inbound call. And really be able to suggest to the patient to bring to the visit all of their sunglasses, their frames, any supply of contact lenses that they may have, along with their medication. And as we actually tell that to the patient, it's important to explain the why. Like, for example, please, Susie, make sure you bring all of your medication because it's important for the doctor to be aware of all of the medication that you're taking throughout the eye examination. And also, please, Susie, bring all of your sunglasses, all of your frames, because we're gonna review all of them. We're gonna do a tune-up. We're gonna do a cleaning of all of your product. We're gonna make sure that everything is up to par to really be able to deliver perfect vision. So now Susie completely understand the reason why you're actually asking her to bring these sunglasses during the visit. And let's do an assessment over here. And does the doctor educate the patient on sun protection? And so do you do that? Does the optician ask pertinent lifestyles question to really be able to create the right environment? Do you have a UV meter to really be able to measure that? This is a great way to be able to test the sunglasses. So I spoke before about how we can actually position a pair of sunglasses under a projector, but actually a UV meter can give you the opportunity to test that. And if the patient brings their own sunglasses, now you can do a UV meter check on that. And how big is your contact lenses business, doctors? And what is your capture rate with your contact lenses patients? How many of your contact lenses today are buying a supply of contact lenses from you, and they're actually buying Plano sunglasses? I would like for you to look at that number. If that number is not big enough, not only you're missing opportunities, but there is also it goes back to what I showed you before. Your patient do not understand the benefit between a premium sun and a low quality pair of sunglasses. Ask your patient if they're wearing sunscreen when they go in vacation. And that has also create an opportunity for us, for you to go into a conversation about that. Not too long ago, I walked into an office where they actually, right on the front desk, they had a skin lotion and a sun protection lotion right on the desk. And interestingly to see that that specific object was actually a conversation starter. I went to my bank the other day, and they had a little car on the front of the counter. As I was actually going there to do one of the transactions, I actually asked, why do you guys have this little car on the counter? And they said to me, well, because we have a great auto financing loan terms. Would you like to know more about it? So that can be a way to actually start the conversation. And if you're looking at these pictures, it's another strong statement, right? How is your sunglasses mix looks like in your stores? To really be able to become a sunglasses destination, we need to act as a sunglasses destination. We need to create an environment to be able to do so. Today, between 30 to 35% of your sunglasses mix is supposed to be in the mix is supposed to be in sun. I'm sorry about that. So if you have 1,000 units on the board, let's say 30% of that, 300 of those units are supposed to be sunglasses. You can only sell prescription sunglasses if you have Plano sunglasses in your stores. And that creates an emotion behind, and when patients start to wear those glasses, they start to try them on. If you have done a very good job in the medical lane to create the need for that UV protection, the moment that one of your patients is trying on a pair of sunglasses, you're 90% done with the transaction. So it has to be compelling. In this process, brands matter, but for brands to matter, they need to live in the right environment. I suggest you to create a sun center focus, and then I would suggest you to actually merchandise the sunglasses with optical, almost like an eye level by level. If you look at your dispensary, I would suggest you to create a line of sunglasses across the board where you actually position base 6 erexable friendly sunglasses with the optical. And that becomes your outdoor wear. Your outdoor wear is the second pair, prescription or Plano sun, that leads with the optical, because it becomes a conversation piece for the optician to start and engage the patient consumers in the conversation. And then if that's not enough, they can move in the sunglasses board area where there is a compelling presentation of sunglasses. That communicates a message to your patient that you are serious about the category, you're taking this matter very serious, and you have a commitment to the sunglasses category. So critical mass is important. And then also really when you're presenting these sunglasses, and really be able to do a check between what benefit do I tell to my customers about the sunglasses, right? How do I actually close these situations? So premium lenses provide the best quality, UV protection, visual acuity, comfort, performance, resistant, and premium fit, best fit, comfort, quality, durability, craftsmanship, warranty, design, and status on the top of that. These are all specific words, specific statements that can actually help your staff to really be able to close their patient consumers into the purchase of sunglasses. And only some of us needs optical, but everybody in the world needs sunglasses. This is a strong statement, but it is a true statement, and all of us need sunglasses for different type of reason, different type of lifestyles, different type of activity, different type of weather condition. Sunglasses are always recommended during daylight. And I think we're right on the hour. We covered a lot of content, and I know we're going to have a little bit of time for some questions. I would like to thank you for indulging me for this hour with this very scientific type of presentation with a lot of technical information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alessandro. I think that important message that you brought to us this evening, that optometrists need to commit to educating all their customers about Sunwear, certainly came through. Before we get into questions, I just wanted to
say that every 2 years it's a safe suggestion.
Very good. Some of our optometrists have commented that they find it difficult to find and source sunglasses for children. Could you comment on this?
Well, let's define children. I would like to understand a little bit better about the age group. So if we're talking about infant, and it is there is a very limited production of gel frame type of material, but there are definitely suppliers in the marketplace that provide that. When it comes to young adults and preteen, and I will probably say 6, 7, 8 years old and older, there is a pretty strong availability in the marketplace in terms of plano sunglasses. I can tell you, for example, in our portfolio, we have a pretty strong production with at least 3 different brands. And if you would like to know more, I will be more than happy to provide that information.
Thank you. One final question for this evening. Our audience participant would like to know if you could comment on those glasses that are seen to correct for color vision deficiency.
It's I'm not an expert in that area, but obviously blind. You know, the blind color deficiency, it's a disease out there, and it seems that there is a technology in the marketplace that it can help with that. Again, I apologize, but I'm not an expert in this specific field, but I will be more than happy to look into it for you, if it needs to be addressed.
Thank you. So before we close this evening, Alessandro, and a very good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.